Getafe have often been portrayed as an unglamorous side with a rough approach to their game. Since their return to the Spanish top flight in 2017-18 under José Bordalas, the Madrid-based club have placed 8th and most recently 5th, missing out on Champions League qualification on the final day of the 18-19 campaign. Courtesy of these impressive league finishes, they have returned to the Europa League for the first time since 2010-11. Pepe Bordalas may have only been in charge since 2016, but the impact that he's had at the Coliseum Alfonso Pérez has been profound. Giving away nearly league-high fouls and receiving similarly high numbers of bookings, it would be easy to discredit Getafe as a plucky band of rogues. Yet, given their incredible consistency, their success is down to precise methods rather than orchestrated madness. Getafe set up in a 4-4-2 system, and that doesn't change under Bordalas, irrespective of the formation they're facing. His tactical plans depend on the partnerships between his players to negate the impact of opposition numbers and rebalance them in his side's favour. It's a system of close understanding through the spine of the team. Bordalas wants his players to always have the advantage of a 2v1 situation anywhere on the field when the opposition have the ball. This arrives courtesy of intelligent movement, interchanging of positions, pressing at the right time, and occupying the spaces seen as most dangerous to force opponents to play their football elsewhere. Once Getafe win possession, transitioning upfield at pace is the priority. Defence can be turned into attack very quickly indeed. They're also set up to encourage numerical advantages in the areas of the field that theoretically would be capable of doing them the most damage. Bordalas wants opposition players to be forced to feed the ball wide, avoiding the spaces in between the lines where creative players might be able to pick apart his organised defence. His side may press with a lot of intensity, but they normally wait until a particular trigger is met. Once an opposing team feed the ball out to their left back or right back, a safe pass given that Getafe have their team set up in 2 banks of 4 and a front 2, then the press will begin. The opposing fullback will be forced to go backwards, kick long, make a risky lofted switch, during which Getafe will be able to shuffle across to provide another united front while the ball is in the air, or play a low percentage pass into a congested midfield, where Getafe have manufactured numerical superiority due to wide players tucking in or a more advanced player dropping deeper. Their striking partnership of Mata and Molina ensure that they stay in close proximity to one another, meaning that opponents can't simply play through them to break Getafe's first line of pressure. Bordalas likes to stay compact, leaving limited space in between each of the lines of his 4-4-2, so opponents feel as though they must keep the ball wide to avoid turning it over. Bordalas is confident in his defence's aerial ability to win headers should opponents swing crosses into the penalty area, and at times his back 4 has consisted of 4 natural central defenders. There is a strong understanding between many pairs all over the pitch for Getafe. Both central defenders work in tandem, as does the double pivot in midfield, the 2 wide players on either flank and the 2 strikers. By staying compact and in close proximity, it asphyxiates opposition teams, forcing them to bypass central zones and cut out vertical passing lanes. Out wide, Bordalas has even been known to use 4 fullbacks, enjoying the balance afforded by players who can exchange roles and responsibilities and who understand when to drop in and cover for one another. If a player steps out to press, another will fill in behind, a shuffle that will only free up an opposing player on the opposite wing rather than close to the man in possession. Should opponents try and play through the lines, the lack of space between Getafe's balanced departments should make life difficult. When facing a long ball over the top, they can retreat and rely on their central defenders to defuse what is usually a 2v1 situation. There's nothing new in Getafe's offensive approach, always retaining 2 strikers to ensure that pressure can be well asserted. This duo are very useful when possession changes hands. One striker can drop into space or come to the ball before immediately popping possession backwards into a teammate who has a broader perspective of the opposition half. Or he can interact with his strike partner, who will often make a more direct run in behind the defence, in the hope of receiving a through ball from a midfielder who can see the full picture. This up-back-through style move helps Getafe go from defending to attacking the opposition box within just a few passes. The mobile and combative Mata, Jorge Molina and Angel have great spatial awareness when attacking the box, as well as the requisite physicality to occupy opposition central defenders and, in so doing, create more space for their strike partner. In wide areas, Marc Cucurella and Francisco Portillo can carry the ball at real pace, while the likes of Mata and Molina are more than confident battling aerially, whether early crosses are whipped in or overlapping fullbacks have time to join the attack and deliver from further upfield. Incisive yet combative, Getafe are a multifaceted threat. Their fairy tale return to Europe has not been authored by ill discipline or luck. Instead, it's been the work of a well-balanced side whose recruitment department have worked tirelessly to get the right personnel for Bordalas' specific team roles, and who now are reaping the rewards.